if there's a cat behind me? Oh, there is. What if there's blossoms, tree blossoms out now? Oh, oh my God, there is. What if? What if? What if I keep saying what if? What if I didn't? What if I slept on my hair like this? I did, because I do every night. Because you want to protect if you have longer hair, you can't be rubbing it all over the pillow, you guys. You have to twirl it and clip it up. Also, just so that it looks so hot. Okay, so, but what if I also have to protect myself from just ongoing sun? There's all these possibilities that are just coming true, you guys. Okay, he can come for a walk. What if he doesn't get eaten by the wolf out here? What if? So many good things could happen. Meditation time. I was listening in the mornings. I'll listen to a lot of like woo-woo stuff because why not? My mind is vulnerable and permeable to wacky ideas, and they make me feel so good. So I'm just embarrassed that I like really love that kind of stuff. I think it's really good. It's amazing. If I could only hold on to it throughout my whole day, I'd be like, I would I'd be permanently high on my own supply, and that's my goal in life. So interesting, super white poop down there, but it's not a bird poop. So yeah, in the mornings it's the best time. My logical mind's not online yet, and as much. What a great day! Woo! It just like looks like a bit of a fairy tale, especially with me as this like great front character. We're gonna meditate a bit. I have to just get you all fired up and inspired though. So I was listening to this channel, Brian Withers. Highly recommend. I'm crushing his videos lately because he's got great style, great presentations of pixel art. Pixart, what is it called? Not like Pixel the studio, but like just like the very first images that went on the internet in the early 90s or whatever. He just uses those and creates basic pictures of how we're evolving evolve your consciousness. It's like a stick figure at a computer, and then it's like on top of a mountain that's just a triangle, and there's just a dot that's the sky. The picture I'm painting is actually about as good as his pictures because they're so basic, but no, it's actually amazing. I love it. So yeah, I was listening to one of his videos that was all about just use active imagination, using your imagination as a tool of transforming your life. And man, so he's just like a good practice of this is to just ask the question, what if? What if, like, I have to drive a U-Haul, a big 10-footer truck soon. Maybe that doesn't sound very big, but it's huge. And because I'm going to be moving and I'm scared about it. I'm scared, especially to drive it like into a city. But I'm just like, oh, what if it's not as bad as I'm projecting it to be? Like, what if I start driving it and I'm like, oh, I'm actually like pretty okay at this, and now I feel like I have this extra skill, and I just feel like I have this freedom. I can like move. I can literally move where I live with my junk from one place to another because I can drive a U-Haul. You guys, you hear it? I can now. You guys, someone needs to move. Yeah, I could drive a U-Haul. I drove a U-Haul before, and it wasn't that bad. So like, what if I just say what if when I get to Calgary, I actually find places that are in my budget that have the natural light, that have a patio or a backyard. I love an outdoor space. What if that's like not so hard? And the point is that like as soon as you do it, your brain just turns into opportunity mode of just being like open to possibilities, just even for a second, and my mood just uplifts. I feel like the resistance, the fear, that is anxiety. It's not actually yet in response to a real problem. So it's not really that helpful because I'm already taking active steps to progress to the goal I have of moving. So all this like mental worry about what's going to go wrong, it's not really helping me prepare. So I gotta just work on my consciousness, my mindset. That's what my mindfulness channel stuff is all about, my coaching. You guys, I just put up my website. You gotta go check it out. I'm offering free coaching services in exchange for testimonials. So you do that before I start charging the big bucks. I would get on that. You can even freaking click a book with me and it'll take you to a calendar and it'll actually like work and stuff. I haven't do it. Tell me if it works. It should work. So anyway, your brain, when you ask the question, what if, and you're using your imagination to create scenarios of things working out, I can move through my day easier. I'm still grounded in reality. I'm not being like a law of attraction source, just like quack-a-doodle-doo who's just sitting there thinking like everything's just gonna fall into place with like no action. Instead, I'm doing all the actions that I need to do in my day, and I'm not feeling the resistance of the fear of things going wrong. Like, it just takes the weight off. It's like if you're biking or running against the wind, like you're taking all these actions, but it's like hard. The payoff is so much harder because you're going against the flow, the wind flow, the chi flow, the life flow and everything. But if you are in the active imagination mode of just, hey, what if over the next 4 days, I didn't give myself enough time I didn't give myself enough time. But what if it turns out to be enough time? What if in 3 days from now, I'm like, imagine that. I actually have more time left over than I was expecting. Hi guys, people tuning in a little bit. Excellent. I'm on a roll. I'm on a crazy roll. So yeah, you just be here. So like, what if in a few days I actually find that I'm better at packing and more efficient than I thought? Now, as I'm going about packing, it feels like I'm packing with the wind, with the current, with the flow. This is what all the great enlightened teachers talk about, is packing your U-Haul with chi flow without any resistance, and believing in yourself that you can drive the U-Haul, okay? That's what this is all about. So I highly recommend switching your mood, your consciousness from fear, worry about restrictions in your life, things going wrong, to asking the question, hey, what if it goes well? And then you take your actions like a normal functioning human being, not just like a weird woo-woo spiritual annoying sap crybaby who's sitting alone thinking everything's gonna work out. No, you're moving, you're doing your life, you're functioning in society, and you just keep asking the question, what if? You got to remind yourself throughout the day, though. Like, it's however the brain works, the subconscious, the patterns, the looking for predictability, the brain assuming things are going to be just like they were in the past, and then you being worried about those limitations of things of how they've gone in the past, and your brain wanting to protect you from protect you from dangers. It'll like try to get you back into not imagination mode about new possibilities, but about predicting a limited course of catastrophic events. So it's an ongoing practice, and that's why mindfulness is helpful it's necessary. It's key to it's ridiculous. I brought a tripod out so that I could be like less crazy moving the camera around so you wouldn't feel like you're getting car sick. I can't hold still, you guys. I'm still just waving it around. Okay, so we're on a ride where you get a little bit motion sick, and hey, you just say, what if I don't mind the motion sickness? You know? What if I want her to keep spinning the camera around and checking out all the cool mountains, all the sky? There's not much cloud differentiation. And what if we don't care? What if that's what we like for right now? Woo! All of a sudden, I feel a lot of tingly, good sensations in my body. No resistance. I'm like totally cool with what's going on. So this is much easier when things are delightful, as in you hanging out with me right now and me being in this natural wonderland. But I told you I have some stressful things coming up. So my practice, and I'm sure you have stressful things coming up, your practice is to practice this when you are stressed and in the difficult situations. In the moment, okay, your body's tense, you're having fearful thoughts, I pick up the U-Haul truck, maybe the person's a little bit cranky, I have some questions about it, I start to feel fear and constriction, and then I just say, oh, what if this is just a passing moment of tension, like a piece of feces on a leaf flowing down the river. Hey, there's a lot more river coming. That thing is gone. I can't even see it anymore. So I don't need to keep thinking about it. So at any moment, just remember it's a small piece of feces on a leaf rowing by you. Let it row. Let it go. Let it row. Let it go. I always say, and let the next new moment come, because what if it's better? Okay, that was insane in a good way. And now let us prep our mind for the hard times by actually doing a little meditation right now, because that is going to rewire the brain so that in game time of when you're picking up your U-Haul and driving it through the city and you're stressed about it, you have the mental brain fortitude, literally the wiring, to help you to be non-reactive, to open up space to say, what if this is going to get easier in just like a second? What if at the end of this I'm going to feel like way more skilled, like a pro, what I'm doing? So we have to practice the quiet mindfulness meditation, which is hard for me because when I get on here I just want to like really quack-a-doodle-doo, talk on and on and on at you. But let's put this in, let me put my mouth where my mouth is and quiet it. And mindfulness is all about bringing your attention to the present moment without judgment. Very close to this what if active imagination shit I was talking about before, except we're almost just going to be a baseline below that and even be non-reactive, non-grasping onto positive thoughts. We're just going to also observe them. We're learning to be the observer. So get yourself ready. Take a deep breath. As you take a deep breath, really just tune into how your body feels. Remember that you have a body and you're not just like a crazy brain mouth spewing funny, ridiculous things at strangers. Shit, I forgot I didn't have my microphone and I can't wander around far away from the phone because I'm having technical difficulty with it. I'm gonna get it straightened out, then I'll be more versatile. All right, so that's just a thought I'm having. I'm gonna come back to my breath. Yep. Things are calming down for me. I'm getting a little more quiet inside. And by that, I mean, I'm almost like my body feels more loud in a way that I can feel the different sensations. My feet, I'm aware of my feet touching the earth. I am feeling my kneecaps, my thighs, my butt. I'm gonna take a deep breath into my lower back. And if you're not familiar with like breathing into different parts of your body, like, I don't know, you just take a deep breath and then think about that body part and like as if you're directing it there. And apparently it works because you consciously talk to your brain and tell it to do things. And how cool is that? So people who are smarter than me tell me that works, like physiotherapists and stuff like that. So, hey. So yeah, my lower back's where I tend to have some tension. So where do you have tension? Take a good deep breath into that area. I'm becoming aware of my diaphragm, my shoulders. I gave them a good stretch this morning because I was lifting yesterday, probably incorrectly, so I'm sore now. So I stretched. I'm aware of my throat, my head. So I recommend doing that, you guys, when you're practicing mindfulness. You can just do a body scan. But what I'm also going to do is give you some gentle reminders while I walk around just a little bit. I'm going to practice this myself. Taking breaths. I'm going to focus on my breath today. Sometimes I focus on my feet touching the ground or the sounds, the beautiful nature sounds. I'm going to bring my attention to my breath. And as thoughts and sensations come into my awareness, I'm going to try to, yes, be aware that I'm aware of them and just let them go. And come back to my breath. Notice the thoughts you're having. You'll become, from this practice, just more aware of where your mind goes and how it's like a chipmunk monkey dancing around. I couldn't help but notice when I look across. I want to respect people's privacy, but like, I forgot when I walk to this part of the property where my dad lives, if I stare across, my ex's parents' house are right across. I knew they were around here, but just as I was standing here, I was like, oh my God, that's like their living room. Like, we can't see each other because there's trees and stuff, and it's across the river, but that's silly. And that's some of the thoughts I was having, so I'm coming back to my breath. It's almost like the world feels a lot louder and bigger to me when I get a little bit more out of the control of my little head and all the little squirmy thoughts in it. Let me know if you can relate to that. I do think that being in nature and outside in this big expansive place plays into that. When you're sitting like in a room alone, it's interesting. It for me it is that kind of same sensation, but it's like what that bigger space or like spaciousness, which Eckhart Tolle talks about it a lot as, like you just, yeah, there's like an expansive feeling, sense of your consciousness, interconnectedness, transcending you're just your little limited thoughts, and it's kind of a trip. All right, I'm gonna head back. I don't know how long we actually kind of meditated for. We'll still be in our meditative, contemplative state. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna turn it off here. I'm gonna finish the rest of my walk in my own solitude. That's important for my practice as well. I always do a bit of meditating, not just on the YouTube live, daily. Keep the brain plastic, moldable to active imagination. What if? Practice that. What if today is gonna be pretty good? What if at the end of the day I imagine myself saying to someone, you know, like, what if did that? It ended up being a pretty good day. Like, I talked to somebody I liked that I wasn't expecting. I felt just like a little bit more peace and enjoyment as I was walking down the same old sidewalk that I walked down, but I was just like noticing a little more things around me. The little blade of grass that for some reason delighted me and doesn't usually. Okay, so that's practice that. Let me know how it goes. Like, subscribe. I got my new website up. Go check it out. Stay connected. See you next time. Bye-bye.